Let's. Okay, sound rolling, sound rolling. Let's see if we're all alive. We'll check everything. Yep, there goes that one. How about Twitchy Poo? Twitchy Poo's live. Cool, cool, cool. Go back to OBS. Double check that. Yes, we have confirmation of yes, yes, yes. We are live there. All right. All right, everybody. It's the Workbench here with the Junk Guild. I am Vladracus. Let's go ahead and discuss a few things. It's been a week. We've all been kind of thinking of what we want to talk about, and we've got a few things to go over. A few things that people may not or may agree with us on. A few people do express their opinion from time to time, and we have our own. We build enough so that we've got a good level of experience with most stuff. So let's go ahead and get right rolling into it with who's with us today. It should be the regulars because we haven't had anyone else join yet. But as always, take it away, Jax.
This is your GM of Gyms, Ajax D Titan.
This is Done, your everyday Gunpla builder.
And this is Honor to Stray, your Astray the Lesser fan.
Yo, what up, Storm? Okay, so where to begin? We're going to begin with talking about our opinions on each grade. Our worst and or best model kits is included in this, and or where we stand on each grade itself. Starting with high grade, I will go off. And I'm going to probably start with, let's go on a high note and start with some really good ones. I have two of the best that I've ever built. We'll start with my very best opinion. And yes, it's an expensive one. If everyone can go to the HUC number 240 Nightingale.
Oh, yeah.
This is I don't like the product imagery they used for it, technically. It kind of makes it look too much like the the Re 100, but it is not the Re 100 at all. It is not the Re 100.
Different.
As you can see on one of the images, especially the one that's pulled up right now on stream, it is not hollow. It is a heavy chunk of plastic. And I mean chunk because he takes up a metric square of space, looking back at my one I've got. And he can actually shoulder his weapons, which is what I did appreciate about it. And the sheer number of weapons you do get with it, too. You do get your full beam tomahawk. You get all the beam sabers for both the subarms and the regular. You get your full shield with missiles. And then you get the full rifle. It's not a half unit. And that's just insane because most people don't understand that it's so much different than the Re 100 itself. And what up, Max? Getting an air compressor. Hell yeah, dude. Nice. Then moving on to my second best in slot high grade. The HG CE. God, can you guys just have one name? I get it. You want each one of them to have their own fucking goddamn acronym. But, I mean, the HG Destiny, the one that just recently came out, the 2.0 variant, is your best dollar because it's much better than the real grade itself. And it comes with everything you see on the box, plus the wing effects, which it doesn't even show that it actually comes in the box, which is really shitty because it's one of the best Destiny particle effects that exists. Like, if I was to do another custom, that's the one I would pick. If I was doing, like, a real grade kit bash with, like, an Astray or something, I would grab the HG Destiny backpack because of the fact that it has the best wing look. Because that solid piece of plastic slots in there. It is not the stupid holofoil one from the full burst that doesn't ever work. It's a solid piece of plastic. It slots in and it's done. And my pick for the worst high grade you can buy, this isn't exactly it, but it's in the same line. Barbatos. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Falls apart. Mine, literally, I have the Rex. I hated everything about it. All the joints are terrible. It feels like they didn't really understand what they wanted to do with it. And unfortunately, it just made me sour on the entire experience because why were they done so bad that they feel like they're bootleg kits? I don't get it.
So this is kind of actually something I've been thinking about with the kind of in line with the high grade IBO kits.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I feel like Bandai had figured out that people weren't enjoying the pre-built frames in the real grades, and they just shifted it to the HGs to see if they'd work out better there.
Well, we'll talk about that when we get to real grade. We're not there just yet. That comes after master grade.
It's an interesting idea, though. It is
Yes,
an
it is.
interesting
It
idea.
is.
And
Okay.
and because yeah, I was gonna say, and because of that, I'm thinking that kind of led to some of the issues with the HGs
Yeah.
and why people weren't a big fan of them then.
Well, see, but then my runner-up for best is the Wing Zero Hono, which came out around the same time as the Barbados did,
Yeah.
and it's one of my favorite Build Fighters kits. I picked it up out of a window. I'm like, that's a fucking weird Wing Zero. Oh, this guy was fucking awesome. That's my runner-up for one of the best high-grade kits I've ever done. I have done nothing to him. He's never lost any parts. It's fallen off the wall twice because of, bad adhesion layers on my stands that I built for them because, of course, my freaking 3D printer wasn't well dialed in at the time.
Mm.
But yeah, he's fallen down a couple times. I've had to go and search for a few things that fell off, but nothing major. Nothing like a Barbados slipping off and completely losing all of his parts. So yeah, but one of you, Ajax or Dunnett or Honor,
Well,
go ahead and take it away with yours.
I was about to say I will actually take away because my best for high grades. I'm gonna second you on the Destiny.
Yo.
In my heart of hearts,
Uh-huh.
I really, really wanted to pick from the Battlelog series the Blazing Gundam.
Uh-huh.
But the Destiny, you've already pointed out, I love the amount of detail work on it. As
Yeah.
you said, it comes with everything you can ask for out of that kit. And something that you didn't bring up, the color separation on it. There's almost no stickers on this thing. It's all just the raw plastic. It makes it for such a very, very nice build. For something I picked up on a whim at Target because it was like I had a coupon basically. I was like, I heard this is good, fine. And I'm like, holy shit, I should have gotten this earlier. And then for the worst, and I feel like just last week I was defending. It was either last week or 2 weeks ago. The high grade Zagok.
Oh. Yes.
I love it. I love it. But it's a very dated design. It's a very
Right.
hollow kit. A lot of that is just empty space.
Ha-
I had to put in a lot of effort into the joints, the legs specifically, to get them to not just be noodles.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Have you
as
done
much as I love it.
Have you done the
Go ahead.
Zagok E yet?
No, I do need to get around to it.
It's so good. Like what you're complaining about, it doesn't have.
Yeah. I believe it, man. But yeah, that's my two though. I really don't have a runner up for worst, if I'm being honest. So
Okay.
So I'll take it away. So my most recent and very few high grades that I built was the Kshatriya.
Yeah.
As far as the size of the binders, the posability of the whole unit as a whole, my only complaint is I would say the lack of details in the body. But my runner up, which I guess is more a nostalgia thing for me, is a high grade that I built. Didn't do anything with, very few panel lining. It was the RX78GP01FB. Just because I did the no grade when I was a kid back in the day. So that's kind of a runner up for the best high grade. The worst, I'm going to second you, Vlad. I've done the Barbatos Lupus, Rex, and the Barbatos. And both of them just weak joints everywhere, and in my opinion, the lack of detail.
Yeah.
Just everywhere you look on it, there's almost none. That's about it.
Right.
On my end, as far as my limited building on high grades.
Yeah, fair enough. Well honored. What do you have to say?
Exactly.
Well, let's see. It's I'll start off with the worst one, and let me clarify. When I say worst one, this is actually coming from expectations being high because it got hyped, and when I finally got it, I paid a little bit too much for it, and after building it, I was not satisfied at all. And that would be the high grade. Oh shoot! I just went brain dead on this one.
Ah,
It's the build. It was the villain from the first Build Divers.
the end?
No, no.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm spacing on it. Big
Oh,
Salt Sam.
no.
The high grade Salt Sam.
Oh yeah.
Because literally it hyped this kit up it being so good. It had a highly posable Salt Sam arm. It could hold a giant lance like some of the IBO kits had. You know, it had big beefy legs, and it looked menacing.
Right.
You build it. It's like you build it and you love how it's coming together. And I know it had stickers, but they actually did the stickers decently well on it. I was impressed. But you build it up, and suddenly it actually looks more like a toy than it does a model kit. And then to top it off, it can't even stand up on its own when you don't give it the weapons. Like, you extend the arm, it won't stand up.
Yeah.
You
Really? I didn't know it was that bad.
No, you extend the Selt Sam arm out, it can't hold itself up. You have the Selt Sam arm closed up in any position. It'll lean that direction. It automatically wants to do the splits without a stand. And then, let alone you try and give it that lance.
So
Whether you mount it on the back or you give it on his hands, it's just
So another one that kind of falls in that same issue with how you're saying the Selt Sam's kind of like not that great is I would say the Astray No Name is the same way. It is not that great of a kit. It's so badly proportioned that it falls over. I only can find the Reebok right now, which is the better version of it, but the original No Name, was it such a terrible model kit. Not one that I would put it on the worst of the worst, but it was like a very bad model kit.
Yeah, and like I actually had to work to make that thing stand up on its own without a stand, and paying let's see I paid $35 for it.
Ooh.
And with as much work as I had to put into it, it was not worth 35.
No.
At all.
Jeez.
So
no.
And just from not just the lack of expectations that they set as a standard for model kits, and then you get this kit and it's not even meeting those standards, and then how much extra work I had to put into it to actually make it at least decent. It just it puts it in the bad category for me.
Yeah, I can feel that.
You are not the only one who hates the Selt. I was just gonna say, you are not the only one who hates the Selt Sam, though.
No, let's go ask. Let's go ask freaking. God damn it, Van, how bad he hates it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love his disdain for it.
Yeah. I don't know what he didn't like about it, but like I said, I can go into detail on why exactly I dislike it.
Okay,
But
so
on the other side of the spectrum, my best high grade kit to date
mhm.
is still and probably, well, because I just picked up that HG Destiny 2 days ago. Um,
Ooh.
uh, uh, as of right now, my best high grade is the high grade Moon Gundam.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, that's up there too.
It's
God.
good, but I have issues with the kit holding up. It's a little bit weak, but with a little bit of with a little bit of care, it could be better. And then just the
No,
back vernier, the back skirting being a little bit meh. I wish it could be a little bit better.
the the only literally the only gripe I have with that kit when I built it, and to this day, it's still sturdy as all get out. The only
Yeah,
gripe I had with that one was it not being able to stand up straight with
with the cycle
its
plate on. Yeah.
with
Mm.
the psycho plates in moon formation
Yes,
on its
with moon
back.
formation. Yep.
Yeah.
Which is what you want to pose it as, but that's why they give you the freaking stand in the kit. So I mean, it's an actual standout kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
That landed
the-
too. When I remember when that first came out, that thing was nuclear.
Yeah.
oh, and it lived up to the hype. It really did. That was an inner frame short of a real grade.
It really
that
is
thing was.
close. It's very close. I
Mhm.
still want to
The-
get its Xeon variant too at some point.
Oh, the Vargil.
Yes, I need to get the Vargil
Yeah.
because remember, Moon becomes Vargil, Vargil becomes Sazabi.
Correct.
I didn't. That's news to me. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
didn't
wait,
know
what?
about that? Yeah,
Well,
that's where they get the Psycho Frame
you-
from. They melted down the freaking moon plate.
Yeah, go
I mean, it
Ajax,
makes sense.
Ajax, go look up the Vargil and look at the backpack and the head. You'll see it.
Nah, fair enough. I'll have to look it up later. I believe you though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
the moon.
UC gets weird though with like this.
Oh,
It
it
turns into that,
does.
becomes that because
Well,
it's
because
like,
remember, RX 782 goes all the way to 93, and then 93 becomes Unicorn.
mhm. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. Have you
Yep.
looked up the gym development timelines?
No, no, I don't want to know.
Have you have you looked up the Quell evolution timeline?
Yes, I have.
See, I like my Zaku's. They're very simple, and I know how they get there.
Quell makes some leaps, man. Like Evil Knievel would be struggling with some of those.
VA Mercurius Wing Zero.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Planet size Titans test team
Oh man.
GM Quells.
Okay, so let's see. So couple so we'll talk about that in here in a second. I'll say a couple little ones that we don't have a lot of people talking about. Like the Messer was it sucks that the movie it comes from isn't the best and it got outperformed by the Penelope and the Kasai. But the Messer's really the
Yeah.
standout kit from those.
Well-
I have one. It's huge. The Messer box is gigantic. It's
Well,
mind-blowingly large.
see, here's the thing, though. Initially, I would say that yes, the Penelope outdid it. There is no question there. There's no question there.
Yeah.
But I feel like I see way more people talk about the Messer.
Well, because it's that good. Like
So,
I've gone through the
yeah.
whole manual. It's basically this is Zaku 3.
Mm-hmm.
It is Zaku 3.
It is Zaku 5.
It could even be
Well,
Zaku 5 with how much it takes from a lot of the units. It's got a beefed up
Yep.
chest. It's got better side skirting armor. It has atmosphere to planet side ability. I mean,
It has an amazing color scheme.
I would not say that actually. I want to change that. I
Really?
hate the color scheme on it. At least the
Wow, okay.
original coloration. I do not like the tan and salmon.
Okay, fair. I like it a lot because it's different. It's
Yeah,
different.
it's-
from what
it's very
from
different.
What we're used to seeing.
And what's cool is this is the last HG 2.0. This is the last HG 2.0 that came out. Because like I'm looking at it and it has moving parts on the inside. It is the last HG 2.0 that came out. Before everything went fucky wucky again.
Yeah,
but
Storm agrees with you on the color.
The color, but you know what? I want to do when sprayed is like Sosby red, not Sosby salmon red, Sosby real grade red, and then I've seen it done. It looks amazing. There's also a resin kit you can do for it, which is really cool and gives it a lot more detail. But even just sprayed red and black, I think it would even look cool as it is because it just has that angular look to it that it looks great. I love it. I do not like the Penelope and the Kasai. I hate the looks. They are chunky Gundam, and I'm not. It's not. It's not Nightingale chunky. It's just like this is chunky.
You mean
chunky and angular.
Yeah.
No, you mean
Here,
you mean the space chicken and the flying Dorito, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, Messer and the Titans colors.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. We'll just look at the entire freaking
Box it and sell it.
right. Oh, in Titans colors it would look fucking awesome. Even in AUG colors it would look cool too. The white and dark. Yeah, I'm looking at the Penelope and the Kasai right now. Why does it need 2 V fins on the Kasai? Why?
Because it does. Damn it.
It's like
Because
there's
it
not
wants
2
to.
Gundams. It's only 1 Gundam. And then the Penelope looking like a big space chicken.
Yeah.
I just, if you got rid of all that bulk, they're basically mobile armors, but if you got rid of all that bulky mobile armor, you'd probably have really cool Gundams. I'm just not the biggest Hathaway Flash person.
Well, you know the Penelope is actually just that flight unit, right?
Yes, I know.
Penelope.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you remember you're still getting that no matter what, technically.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I also didn't like Hathaway's Flash either. Ooh, people coming after me. Bring it on, bitches.
Will people come after you for that?
Oh, yeah, because if you
Yes,
say anything
they will.
about fucking goddamn Hathaway's Flash and how he's a very weak character and please, bitch, you wish you were Char, no.
Huh. I feel like I haven't heard that many people.
There are some people who put it up there with, like,
go on.
IBO.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You know what? It wouldn't be the Gundam community without us lunatics willing to die on dumb hills. So
See, yeah, Storm, yeah, I could see you getting the Panzer Dragoon Orta kind of thing from it. That I do see that. And that's a neat way of putting it. I don't like, I like big Gundams, but it just feels weird. It just feels like it wouldn't work in, I mean, all of a sudden here comes an RX, like Grandpa, like RX-78-2 comes around and just does freaking circles around the two of them because they're so large they can't move.
yeah.
They can launch all the Dragoons they want, but you put them up against a real Gundam, man, bare bones like Mark II Titans, oh, they're gone. Let alone Zeta or, like, Zeta's big. Zeta's actually a good one. We'll pull that up here in a second. I'll pull up a Zeta. Like, Zeta's big, but after watching and figuring out how Zeta works, Zeta could do freaking insane amount of running around. But
Yeah.
Zeta feels good. Like, I like the look of the Zeta now. I do not like the double Zeta at all. I hate the look of the double Zeta.
Yeah.
But that also, I think that's probably where they got the design for the Penelope and the Kasai. Is it looks like it's an offshoot of double Zeta.
Yeah. I like the full armor double Zeta.
Yeah, Faz is fine. Faz looks cool. But you got to look at it like, okay, so he's got the big gun and he looks cool. But then when you're like, oh, it's still just a freaking double Zeta, it's like, oh.
I'm a sucker for big guns, though. So
Yeah, no, I am too. Trust me. I am a sucker for big giant swords.
I wonder why you like Astros.
Oh, we're going to be getting onto that. We're not on to, well, actually, we are moving over to Master Grade right now. We did feel a good, no, Master Grade comes before Real Grade.
Oh, okay.
Master Grade comes before Real Grade. Real Grade came after Master Grade, so we got to talk about Master
I see
Grades
where you're going.
first. Because remember, Real Grades are technically a step up from Master Grade, so...
You're right. I wasn't thinking about it that way.
So I'm going to start off with master grades. Let's start with, okay, I did not pull up my worst. Okay, here, give me a second. So technically there are 2 worst that I will sit here and talk about. One of them is going to make me get in trouble. Let me pull up the other one. Where are you at? Yeah, there it is. So the worst master grade I've ever had to build, and everyone hates me for saying this. You all know it. I've talked about it. It is the king himself, the MG New Verblah. And I'm going to say that because it is such a terrible build.
Well, you made it worse for yourself.
No. You hush there, fool boy. Because I actually have a comparison to that we just recently, I just had to go and think about. That stupid gimmick with the fucking psycho frame being in the actual goddamn, not being built into the actual inner frame itself and being little stupid inserts versus what the hunting kill did, which let me see if they've got this thing on here.
I get where you're going. Yeah.
Versus the hunting kill. Yeah, they got them both on here. Versus the hunting kill from Supernova, which did a similar thing. But the thing is, they were built to actually be on the unit. And I did the same thing that I did for the hunting kill that I did for the new. I did the same thing. Funnels, lights, LEDs, full row. The funnest part about building the MG New Verka was doing the aftermarket backpack and doing my aftermarket funnels. Those were the fun parts. Everything to deal with that unit was terrible. I still have the original head. The head that comes with the high mobility backpack is 10 times better than the head that comes with it. The head that comes with it is terrible. It's so blocky and it's just garbage tier. And what they did with the chest, if you guys have ever built the new Verka, they compromised the integrity of the entire chest to fit that stupid LED in there that's just light piping into the eyes, but it compromises the entire structure of the chest. It makes it so hard to put together. And if you're not paying attention, you can break a lot of things. And I almost did a couple times. And it just makes it a nightmare to get the backpack on because you don't have a solid connection for the back. That backpack does not want to go on at all. The legs are just very odd. The way it transforms is kind of like the unicorn, but not as solid as the unicorn can be. And overall, it just felt terrible. Like everything I did to it was a lot better. The aftermarket feet that went on, the aftermarket funnels were great. I didn't even build the funnels that came with it. I threw those in the trash because I didn't even want to build them because I sprung for to ban funnels that are the transformation type ones. And you know how they transform? You just pull them open. And it was awesome. And yeah, you guys knew it was coming. And then the other master grade, you guys are going to be surprised I say this.
I'm waiting.
Sazabi. It's a waste of money. There is nothing good about it, really. It is. You want a big chunky unit to sit on your desk and look cool? Sure, go ahead and spend $114 on it. Sure, he looks good in passing, but the pictures are wrong. They don't show you what it's going to look like when you actually get it. It does not look like that. It is way out of proportion. It's too large for what it looks like. You don't get the shotgun. You only get the sniper rifle. The funnels build fucking stupid, and it's just too big. Which we'll talk about the other thing I would suggest, the actual version I like here in a little bit. But that's the problem, is that it's just not as fun as I thought it was going to be. I built it. I still had fun with it. But it's not one I will tell people to go and grab. Because it's just, Yes, the orange Jedi kit is pretty good, Michael. But the problem is, it's just, it wasn't as good as it should have been. They sprung for too much of that transformation gimmick Kotoki thinks is cool. But they skimped out on everything else. Had the hands been had the arms be better proportioned, I would be a lot better, because he can't shoulder the rifle. You can't do anything with the rifle at all. His hands are too big. He doesn't have enough articulation in the wrist to hold it. So it's impossible to get him to do a form. Like, the best thing you can do is buy the aftermarket Gatling cannons, and he can barely hold them up still. Because he's a little too fat, and he's cut down all that Gundanium. Because, goddamn, his arm... He can't even put his elbows together because he's too freaking chest heavy. It's so...
Dude.
It's so hard to recommend that kit.
That's odd because I've been looking at that one
Don't.
on my list of that looks good. I might want
It
that.
looks good. It looks good. And when it's done, it looks good. But we will talk about what you should buy in a little bit here. But my best master grades, technically, this one has a asterisk to it because it has to have an asterisk. The OVA Sinanju.
Okay.
Built
I know where you're going.
straight. Built straight. It is still good. It is still one of the best Sinanju kits you can get. The Verka has issues. The Verka has very nasty issues. And you know what you're also going to get in the box of the Verka? What's our biggest problem with Gundams that come from a certain freaking maker named Katoki? He seems to think everyone wants freaking spindly Johnny fingers, and none of us like that.
Yeah.
For some reason, he can't understand. Please stop with the pre-made hands. I don't get why he thinks they're so amazing, but you don't get that with the OVA. The OVA does not have that. You get molded hands, but unfortunately, there's a certain third-party studio that decided to go, we see that you like this. There is a resin kit that is available for it, which makes it amazing. We'll go ahead and make it into plastic for you so you don't have to do all the painting and give you the chance to make the Takumi Sinanju, which replaces 95% of the unit, which I can pull it up here if I go to Mophie real quick. And we'll talk about that while we do it because it's just an addendum. This is just because of the fact that it exists. If it didn't exist, Sinanju would still be up there because I bought it anyways. But the Takumi takes the mediocre good OVA and turns it into a god tier level kit. Like, it turns it into a kit that becomes god. And it's because they fix everything that is wrong with Sinanju kits. Other than the real grade, nothing has the inlaid gold and black. They're always going to be a sticker or have to be painted. And unfortunately, the only way that you're going to do that where you don't have to do that and you can get something that looks really, really good with very minimal time and effort is something like the Takumi or going for a real grade Sinanju. Which does suck that some of us have to go for that far. But those are my takes. Yeah. We'll now re-roll back around to some of the other guys. Oh, wait.
Hold up. I did want to second that. Sorry. That the Master Grade Sinanju, the OVA, you're right. It is a very, very, very good Master Grade on its own.
Yes.
The Takumi way puts it over.
Yes.
But yes, it is still worth mentioning how awesome the Sinanju OVA
and I actually almost forgot to give up my turn without talking about my all-time god tier Master Grade. And if you guys know what my logo looks like, I don't have to say anything more. If you don't have the Kai in your collection yet, and I know 95% of everybody who does Gundam bought a Kai when it came out, because we all are suckers for fucking katanas.
Mm-hmm.
And big giant swords that are both bowcasters, jetpacks, and a big giant fuck off greatsword. That it's hilarious that the Stray. It's actually
or a Gatling gun turret.
Yeah, or a Gatling gun turret. But it's funny how the Astray is the poster child for this is fucking insane, but yet how can I buy more of them? Because, yes, I want. Yes, it's minimalistic. Yes, I love that they did the inner frame is technically an outer frame. The innie became an outie, but it's minimalistic to what exists. It is a stripped down unit that is running minimal armor so it can run as fast and go circles around its enemies. And that's actually a really neat idea. But it doesn't have the issues of the Barbatos. The Barbatos is kind of the same way, where it's a stripped down unit to go quick. But the red frame, the Astray units don't have exposed components. It's still all pretty much contained within the armor system. If you've ever built an Astray, you know how the legs are built. And it was their first foray, and we're going to make you sweat these legs out, but you're going to love it. Because pistons and things that twist and bend and go all around. But now I'm going to throw it to everybody. I forgot to say about the Red Frame Kai. And
No,
also
you're
the fact the Red Frame Kai sells out every time it comes out.
Yes.
Every time there's a reprint, it sells out. Like right now, it's out of stock on freaking Gundam model, not Gundam model, sorry, Gundam Play Store right now, which is
Play
funny because
Store.
they had some not too long ago. Okay, so
All right.
rolling back around at the speed of sound.
Jesus. All right, so I'm gonna go with I hesitate to call it the worst,
Okay.
but it's not a bad model kit, but the Master Grade Duel
Ooh.
as a base unit, zero complaints.
right.
Really, really nice, really nice. Then you get to the Assault Shroud,
Oh.
and it is very plain looking.
Uh-huh.
It lacks a lot of detail. And the waist part specifically, I know a lot of people have issues with that falling off. I basically I put the assault armor on it for a video, and since then it has never got. Well, actually, that's a lie. It still has the right shoulder armor on, so I can mount the cannon to it. Otherwise, none of that assault armor has gone back on.
Right.
And I think that's what makes it the worst, because if you build in manual order like I do,
Yeah.
you get done with the base unit, and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I love this. I can't wait to ruin it, I suppose. Wow. Huh. Well, there we go.
See, and then you like so the duel is supposed to be it. That's Seed, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Correct.
so
That's one of the
Seed.
original 5.
Yeah. So the dual counterpart would be the Alex, and everyone loves the Alex, even though it's kind of a wonky unit.
Yeah. I would say though that a lot of times when they do the Alex though, that outer armor has detail to it.
Yeah.
The MG Duel, a lot of that assault armor is just plain. It's just like one piece of solid plastic with nothing to panel line, nothing to maybe throw some decals on it, maybe kind of make it look a little bit better, maybe. But yeah. Blech.
Well, the drawback with the Alex 2.0 is that when you put that Chobam armor on, you are not getting it back off.
Oh, I
like,
wouldn't doubt it.
They
That's
say
true.
it's a They say it's a gimmick that you can do that, but literally, even the skeletal frame that goes under the Chobam armor, that's not coming off once you put it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for my best though, and I don't even know if this is a hot take, I will also say I'm biased because my wife bought me this kit for my birthday. The Master Grade Heavy Arms EW.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna be honest. It's just because it's a simple design,
Yeah.
but effective. It does not at no point does it feel like there's parts that didn't need to be there. This is parts for the sake of it's a Master Grade, so it has to have this many pieces in the arm. No, none of that. Every part is needed, and it's great. Also because there's no like weight issues. I've never had an issue with it feeling off center or anything like that. And the one drawback I have heard a couple people say, and yes, Storm Heavy with Igil is pure sex appeal.
Yes.
But the one, and this is I feel like a very big note. A lot of people complain, the missiles on the shoulders and everything, they're only a slightly different color plastic than the rest of the pieces.
Yeah.
That's where I want to give it credit though, where it's So essentially, the missiles are always one solid piece of plastic, and then you kind of put that frame over it.
Yep.
So what you can
Mhm.
literally do is just take any paint, like 2 swipes. You don't even really have to paint the individual missiles. Just swipe, swipe. Hey, look, all of them are painted.
Yep.
Put that over frame over it. Yet if you overpainted on the lower parts, you don't even notice.
That's exactly how my supernova is done, because the supernova exactly uses that uses the original design.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like I absolutely love that kit. Heavy Arms is also probably my second favorite Gundam overall, if I'm being honest too.
Right.
But yeah, that was such like, this is what a master grade, in my opinion, should be. Where it's big, it's nice, it's detailed, but it's not over the top for the sake of being like, well, it's a master grade, we have to make it over the top.
Yep.
Well,
Yes.
I guess I'll take it away. As far as my worst, I have 2, and I think it was Storm, if I'm not mistaken, was talking about the Eclipse. That's on my list. I have 2 of them. So the one I legitimately hate at this point that I've built was the Death Scythe Hell Endless Waltz, for a couple reasons. It's crazy. The Kshatriya next to the body of the hell, it is shorter than that. So the scale is off, the lack of detail, and the gimmick of this kit is relying on its cloak to make up and say, hey, I'm a master grade, when in reality you're probably a glorified high grade with some master grade level add-ons thrown into it.
Yeah.
Which to me doesn't make sense for the price. And then my runner-up is the Eclipse. And my only gripe is it doesn't help that it's a transformable Gundam. So a lot of the similar to the Kairos, but the Eclipse, though, in general, the feet is what I had the worst problems with as far as loose joints.
Okay.
Honored's probably going to say something about that, because he loves the Eclipse.
I totally don't have an Eclipse with the Striker, a standard Eclipse, and then the Eclipse with the Rajan Striker.
Of course he does. And
They're
those are just the
Astros,
ones
so what can I say?
Well, I was about to say, those are just the ones he's telling us about.
Right. He probably bought the freaking, what is it called? The Cyberized and or the other one, too.
I don't have the Cyberized, and I don't have the
color
I don't
contrast.
have the Eclipse. Eclipse Unit 2.
Oh, yeah, the Unit 2, the black and red one. Yes, I still want that one. I love the colors on it. Oh, man. Yeah, and so what are your best on it?
So as far as the best, I have, which I'm a little biased on this, would be the Deban 88, the Snow White Prelude.
Ah, there we are. There's the third party in the room. Hello.
So that one, someone was listening somewhere and
Ooh, did we lose him?
Ooh.
I was able to get the Supernova Prelude. Sorry, I had a call. So it's like, oh boy. Before I was able to get my hands on the Prelude from Supernova, Deban jumped on that bandwagon. And I can't say, other than like I've said before, my own error on a broken part or two. But other than that, it's a great kit. I mean, the options that third parties give you that Deban doesn't give you, or P Bandai charges you for, I can't complain.
Yeah.
Fair.
No.
Very fair.
No. I literally had someone asking me like, "Oh, should I buy it?" I'm like, "Yeah, you should buy it now while it's cheap, because if you don't, that FOMO, when it goes out of stock and it's out of print, you're gonna be paying double, because Vladdy's done it before. He's a fucking moron who didn't just buy it when he saw it because he liked the design, because everyone kept telling him he was dumb for even looking at it, and now he kicks himself because that was a $140 mistake.
Yeah.
God, I can feel that. Any others or just that one?
That one, I mean, I really can't complain. I guess runner up would be the unicorns, the
Ooh,
Verka, the
yeah. Let's actually
Verka
talk
full
about the Verkas
armor.
because those get so much fucking hate.
But yeah, other
Yeah.
than that, I would say that'd be my I guess my runner up. But
So here, let me
then
pull it
again,
up.
I can't complain about any master grades.
Ooh, you pulled on my heartstrings there, unicorn. Oh, I actually have strong opinions about that. They do not have the full armor on the website. Of course they don't. All right, it's fine. We'll just talk about it from here. I don't get why the master grade gets so much fucking hate. I don't know why the real grade gets put up on a pedestal when the master grade's actually fine. I don't feel there's an issue with the master grade. I think it's, to quote me, it's a issue of not paying attention and having a lower skill set that you're not paying attention of how to adjust for issues.
Hmm.
Careful with the wording on this one.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
still saying it.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I have a full armor unicorn Verka.
Yeah.
I loved it. I had no issues building it. He's still standing, like someone made fun of him, like, oh, he's just standing there normally. I'm like, dude, those fucking beam javelins are so fucking heavy. There's not really much I can do with it. And he's got enough wiring to kill a horse in him. But I loved it. I had no issue with it. You want to know what I did have an issue with? We'll talk about that later because fucking hell, I'm going to get a lot of flack for it. Trust me.
well, I mean, the RGs get put on a pedestal. Okay, I'm genuinely saying because this confuses me. Where it's like the RGs will get put on a pedestal when they're known to have the issues that they have, the breaking parts. Yada, yada, yada. But yeah, the master grades do it better. And it's the OVA versions, the Verkas. It's like whatever. It's like I don't know. I don't
think
get it. Yeah, like you said, why did the
it's-
master grades get hate when the? I feel like if any version of them should get hate, it's the real grades.
Storm,
I-
we're
I
actually going
think
to talk about that
everybody's
here in a
heard-
minute. So,
Oh, I was gonna say I've heard that that's been a hand grenade. They touch it and it falls apart.
okay, so we're
I
moving
mean,
on to
that-
real grade
that-
then. Okay, okay,
Wait,
okay.
Yeah,
Reset,
yeah.
reset. Real
What?
grades. Here we go.
Wait,
Yep.
what?
Good.
I
Yeah,
haven't
might
even
as well.
done mine.
Was that?
I haven't even done mine.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like
no,
you haven't done
Oh
your.
shoot! Yeah, yeah.
Okay, never mind. We're still on
Okay,
master
sorry.
grade. All right, cool.
I feel loved. I feel so loved right
I'm
now.
Oh
sorry.
man, you're fine. Okay, so where were we at with your fucking goddamn master grades? Your best and worst. Tell
His
me.
best master.
Yeah, best and worst.
Yeah, actually, it took me a while to come up with the worst one because I had to trace back and think through it. Because I guess I want to say this before I get too far into it. I technically have never had a bad kit in the sense of it was a trash kit. I've just had a really bad experience because I've had to put more work than I
What is it
wanted to
called?
into it when, I shouldn't have put that much work into it. So, that being said, the worst master grade for me would have been the original master grade Faz.
Oh.
And that master grade I think is from 90, it was either 93 or 98. It's an
Oh, gee.
it's an old it's an
Oh, so you're
older
talking about
one.
like the real original one.
Yeah, where it was still Zeta colors and it had the rocket, it had that big ass rocket launcher. But I just, oh my gosh, where do I even start with that one? So with the the seam lines, the mold injection points were actually on a couple of the parts, or the plastic injection point were on a couple of the parts. The parts were, as far as connections with the parts go, I would say it was, you could easily compare it to uh, early 90s, late 80s, early 90s Debon kit
Mm.
with not just the plastic quality, but the fitment.
Ah.
And this thing, it literally just fell apart. It and I mean that in all sincerity. You could glue a part on, and then you turn your back, and the part next to it falls off. It, yeah. By the time I was done with it, the whole thing was glued together, and that's all that was holding it together.
Damn.
Ooh.
Like, I had to glue it with all the missile ports open on it, and that was a lot of missile
Oh.
ports.
Right.
So it couldn't even hold the beam rocket launcher up very well
Damn.
because all the missile ports were open.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean, if you like putting a lot of work into kits, go ahead and get that one. But if you're mainly just straight building it and doing light detail work,
Yeah.
stay away from it. I think for runner up, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this one,
Yeah.
would be the master grade camphor.
Ooh, really?
I will back you on that.
I've heard nothing but good things about Campy.
It's
Yeah.
old. It's
Ooh,
old.
oh no, it's old. But I mean, you're saying it's good and it's old. That's kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
It's good, but from a kit, especially with that kind of weapon selection,
Yeah.
and then even if you were trying to be close to anime accuracy, it was still very much off.
Right.
And
Oh, that's the HGC
out of
one.
all out of all the kits from that time era that had screws, that one was the worst. I remember that one having screws.
Yes, I think it did. Oh God, I can't remember now. It's
Yeah,
in
because,
another
like,
room, otherwise I'd look.
There's
yeah,
the
because
camper.
I know a lot of the '08 MS Team MGs came around the time that one came out too.
But it looks
they
even good
all-
in the promotional pictures. Looks good. The camper does not look like it's got any real too many issues with
Okay.
it.
Look at those promotional pictures, and then actually look at the plastic it came with. Completely different colors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the issue I have with what is it called? The new one that just came out. The black camper that just came out. That it
The
looks
Schwartz,
the Schwartz
yes.
looks CGI with the matte coloration and everything.
It's that so at least color wise that plastic is actually pretty close to what they're showing
Oh,
in
that's
the
good.
promotional images. But then you still loop back around to like you really couldn't have, because there is some frame issues just from being an older kit. It's acceptable to a degree because with the original because it is an older kit, but it's like, all right, can we have done a couple things better by this point if you're gonna push out a new version of it?
Yeah. Yeah, and then let me see. I've been through a lot of really good master grades. So it's hard for me to pick one good one. And honestly, just the more I think about it, I keep coming back to my very first my introduction to Verkaz would be the Victory 2
Ooh.
as my favorite MG. And
Okay.
unfortunately, the Victory 2 gets, I would say, overlooked and has bad assumptions about it because when you say Victory, people think of the original Victory,
Yes.
and they think of how bad that Burqa was. and they think the Victory 2 is the same way when they're two completely different kits.
Yes.
And
Well, even. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say that one, it does suffer from early versions of transformation kits
Uh-huh.
because that separates into, of course, the core booster, the
Mm-hmm.
the chest being a unit, and then
Yeah.
and then the legs being a unit. And that kind of takes away from some of the articulation in the legs and everything. But the detail on it, you get water slides with it, and the pre-molded hands, they're they were good. I mean, they seem like action figure hands, how they feel, but they do what they need to do. And it looks good, and it comes. I'm not sure if most master grades come with two core boosters, but this one did. So you've got the one that you can keep installed in the unit, and then the one that you can display.
Yeah.
So the core fighter, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
So I thought that was neat, and honestly, that's my best. That would probably have to be my best master grade.
I gotta ask, have you done the Deban Victory 2 yet?
I have the Debon Victory 2 Assault Buster in my backlog back home, but I have
Hoping
not
someone
built it
had
yet.
it. 'Cause I always look at it and I'm like, I kind of want it, but I don't know if anyone's built it yet. I've heard different stories on it.
So
it's one of those things I always want something else more.
Right.
So I've talked to a lot of people who have built that one already, and you're basically getting a Bandai kit with a different box.
Oh,
Neat.
okay. Well, that may have shot to the top, more up to the list then.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so we're moving on to real grade, and this is going to be a very long topic for me. I have very big mixed feelings for real grade. I'm one of probably the most prolific ones in the group who has done a lot of real grades over the time. I do have my own opinions on real grades. Really, it's concise. It's decisive and concise at the same time. I do have my own opinions about things. Oh, there's it. There's the Banshee. Okay. So best is going to be pretty hard. There are like 3 that I have to talk about. One of which is the one that I will tell you replaces a model kit that you could buy for about a half the cost. If you're even thinking about buying Sazabi for Ka, take that, crumple it up, throw it in the trash, and go buy the real grade. The reason why I say the real grade is a better buy is because the articulation is better. The detail may not be as concise and so overly complicated like the Verka is, but the colors feel great. I like the idea that it looks like the box art you're looking at when you go to buy it. He can shoulder that rifle, and the fact that it is not... It's one of the strongest kits you get, plus you get the good beam effects, so you don't feel bad. That is the worst thing about the Sazabi and the Sinanju from the Master Grade line, is you get the worst beam effects. So you never want to display them with the beam tomahawks or the beam sabers, because they're so terrible. Because they're just flat plastic with beam effects, and it doesn't really give that good feel to it. But the real grade Sazabi and Sinanju both have the amazing particle effects that make it so that you want to display them that way. And I love that. It's something I can just tell people, like, you're going to want to. Especially you're going to do like I did. You're going to put the tomahawk and do the entire beam shield weapon, where he's raising up and he's got the shield up with the entire weapon just sitting there on it. And it's amazing that he can hold that giant thing up. Mine has been taken apart multiple times. I've detailed it, and I want to do the FF parts that are coming out for it, because it's that good of a model kit. I can't talk more about the real grade. The real
Is it
grade,
proportioned better?
yes, it is.
than the
Very well
Master Grade
proportioned.
style?
The legs are cut down a lot. The legs are nowhere near as big as the Master Grades variant. So it's so much better balanced. It'll stand up really, really well. I've had no issues with mine. The arms, like I said, he can shoulder the rifle. He can actually do things. His arms have a lot more movement because they shrunk the shoulders down a bit more. It's very nice. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, it's still one of my favorites. I mean, I literally had it picked it up the other day, and I'm like, yep. And he is a bit front heavy sometimes if you don't balance him good. But they fixed all the issues with it. His funnels are no longer too small, but they're not proportionally bad, which we'll talk about one that has issues with that here in a second. So Sotheby's down. Now, we're going to talk about my all-time favorite. Sotheby is my favorite when it comes to talking about one that you should buy versus a kit that you shouldn't buy. But my all-time favorite, which has just changed recently from the couple years ago, is the real grade high new.
Yeah.
Which is unfair because
Yeah.
it's not a fucking real grade. It's not a fucking real grade. It's a fucking high grade 2.0. I mean, not a high grade. It's a master grade 2.0.
Well, yeah.
It's a master grade 2.0. I don't fucking care. That thing is gigantic. It is almost as big as the hunt and kill. I literally have them standing by next to each other, and it just looks like a smaller master grade. Which doesn't look bad. It looks like it came from the Wing universe for a master grade size. Which is disgusting. But it's so good. Everything... It's not a Katoki kit. Because everything on that is meticulously done. Every piece of color is a separate part. And I love it because of that fact. It's just too insane that this exists. And it's like you see this and you want more, but it doesn't exist. And it's like, but why? I will throw my money at the screen for this mobile suit. I don't know why. I don't know why they feel that they aren't putting all their effort into making more kits like the high new freaking real grade. I would buy all of them the second they come out because it was such an enjoyable build. You would have thought I would have complained about the legs or the arms or the funnels. Nothing. It all felt great. It all felt amazing. And the beam effects, once again, they're exactly what you expect. They're amazing. And I can't say anything bad about it. I didn't have any problems with it. The only thing I see everyone bitching about all the time, oh, the gold parts are too gold. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not the old injection gold. It's a bronze color. I actually really prefer it.
It looks a lot better.
I love the fact they went with the blue color scheme, not the purple.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much better done because of the fact that you don't have to do the giant decals that the Verka has to have. Ooh, the Verka having such... The Verka's not bad. It's better than the regular new, but the decals, oh my God, trying to set those decals, I would never try. They're so bad. But yeah, when it comes to a real grade, people are going to ask me, I'm going to tell you Sotheby, and I'm going to tell you to get the high new. Because they're so good. Now, moving on, the two runners-up will be the RG Crossbones. Even though Crossbones gets hate, Crossbones gets so much fucking hate, it's still good.
Well,
I have a
some of
genuine
the-
question with the crossbones. Has anyone ever heard a complaint about it that's not in relation to small part size? I'm genuinely asking.
Other than the people who got unlucky
Yes.
and got the warped versions, I haven't heard anything.
I didn't even know there was a warped version.
Well, the ones that
Yes,
got...
if you got,
No,
if
keep
you
going.
got, I forget what years it was, but there were a couple batches that were sent out to Hobby Lobby and have warped parts in it, and people were getting complaining about them not being able to stand up or parts on the legs falling apart. Heck, even Dobbs was one of those unfortunate few.
And then I love that everyone kept saying about it. And then I'm like, I'm going to go get mine off the shelf. And I'm like, see, he stands just fine. I don't know what you guys are bitching about.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
Sorry,
yeah.
I genuinely was
But
asking.
no, the only problem I've ever heard is how small everything is. And it is very tiny. I understand that.
Yes.
But it is running up for, like, you want one that's really highly detailed and comes with some really amazing parts. I mean, I'm even looking at it like, I kind of want a second one just to pose him with the sword and the shield option. Because mine's in the assault the assault cloak mode with the goddamn the guns. I can't think. I'm talking way too much.
I did buy a second one because I was like, he comes with so many weapons.
Yes.
And I couldn't decide between two of them, and I was like, oh, well, the only answer is to buy two of them.
Yeah. And then my second runner-up is the Astray RGs. I know some people have the same issue that they have with the crossbones, that the Astray RGs are too small, and they are. I've built the gold frame, which is just basically the red frame but gold colored, and I've done the Amatsu Mina. Yeah, they're pretty small. And the Amatsu Mina is in piano black finish, which does attract dust like crazy.
Yes.
But
yes.
Other than losing the face part to it, which I have no idea how it got disappointed, his mask is gone. I need to get another one and do it a way I want to do it. It's still not the worst. Yeah, the backpack is heavy, but have you seen how big that backpack is? It is insane. But it was one of my, it was like the 4th or 3rd real grade I did, and I had no problems with it, really. I didn't have to do shit to it. It was a tiny kit, and I still have it, but I don't shame him by putting him away. So for a runner-up as being a good kit that I would recommend, the Amatsu Hana, the Amatsu Mina, the blue frame, the red frame, they're all really great kits. I have no problems with the real grades, Stray kits. They're still some of my favorites. Now going on to the bad real grades. I have 3 technically. I have 3 technically. So we'll start with the one that has issues, but if you're good, you can fix it. That is RG Sazabi. I mean, not Sazabi, Sinanju. Sinanju has issues. Problems being, 1, I hate the gloss finish on it. It is terrible. I don't know who thought that was the way it should be done. Should have been in a semi or a matte finish, because that's what every other version is. I don't know who thought, let's make the red shiny. The problem with that is it makes the shield not able to hold on very well. The shield will completely fall off because that plastic is polished too much, and the clip right there just pops right off. It's so annoying. I have had so many issues with my original one. But then you have the issues of the waist. The waist is the worst. They did some stupid like mechanic so that it can do some weird twisting motion, and it's supposed to separate so he can kind of become taller a bit. The problem is the plastic is so thin it will instantly snap on you. I've done it twice. I tried with my first one, threw me through a loop, and I broke it and had to fuse it. My second one, I knew it's new as but the other problem was with the second one, it instantly started stressing the plastic, and I was like, nope, glue, 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 glue. No, you're perfectly fine. You can still move and stuff. It's not that bad.
Fair.
But yeah, it can be fixed, and it's still the best version of Sinanju outside of the Takami, because all those parts are separated. You do get the better beam weapon effects. Put them on a stand. You cannot stand. Those verniers are way too large for the unit. They topple him backwards instantly. Can have weak joints in the legs if you don't tighten it up a little bit, just because of, real grade interframes aren't the best, but they are still what works. But it's still my favorite of one of, it's not the worst of the worst, technically. We'll get to that guy here in a second. Go away for a second. Banshee and Unicorns. I will tell you right now, I had a terrible time building this. It was my 2nd or 4th real grade. And the biggest problem is that I just didn't like it. I should have liked it. In technicality, I should have liked it. But the problem is, though, I hated every bit of it. It was just not fun. I didn't like the way that the leg transformed. I didn't like the way that the waist transformed. It just felt so cheap and not as fun as it should have been. I hate that it has a solid peg for a waist. It was just so bad. Mine actually broke too. Like, it did not peg in very well. The shield makes it just so top heavy. It's really not the best, in my opinion. And I just did not have a good amount of fun. And even when I went back and took it apart and put an LED kit into it, still didn't like it. And I really want to do another one proper the way I would do it nowadays and see if I still have that opinion. But it left such a bad taste in my mouth that I just didn't have fun doing it. And I really wish I could have said better, because I had a blast when I did my my Master Grade full armor. I still want to do an RG full armor with a full LED kit too, but it's just such a high cost for something that might not be worth my time putting in for. Because real grades are really hard to do wiring kits for, because you have to do so much to get around the inner frame that when you're doing it, it will take a lot of time. Real grade Sananju took forever to do, but I eventually got through it. But it's with a lot of making things work.
Fair.
Making things work. Now, the worst real grade I've ever had to deal with is the Justice. I had a slog getting through this, and this was when I was like,
talk about this.
I have built it. It hates me. When I went to put it back together again after moving, still fucking hates me. The beam saber broke. The feet don't like standing on the God, how would I put it? The backpack does not like to be stand on, really. The feet hook in really fucking weird. I did not like the build. It was very weird. And that was after I had already built the Strike Freedom. And I didn't mind that one. That one was fun. That one was okay.
Yeah.
The Dragoons are fucking weird.
On that, though, is that because they scaled it down? Because I didn't have any issues building the Master Grade version
Yes.
of that.
Okay, so remember, when we talk about Master Grade versus Real Grade is a completely different category compared to Master Grade. Master Grades are usually a little bit different, where they don't have the full inner frames running throughout the entire unit.
Correct.
And they can compromise a bit of things for articulation, where Real Grade, especially in early ones like this one, they went to try to make it so that you were clipping off entire legs and building parts on frame, like kind of like how high res ended up turning out to be. And,
okay, because I have no.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about the Infinite Justice and the Justice Gundam in the Master Grade form. But the Real Grade,
I'm trying
it
to
is
get
a slog.
As far as the Real Grade versus the Master Grade versus
Right.
High Grade.
Yeah.
In this particular one.
Yeah. So those are mine. And I have not yet to get to the Epion yet. I've seen it. It looks okay. Once I do get to it, I'll have my own opinions about it. But right now, I still like the look of it. But okay, off to Ajax, because we are taking a long time to get through these, and I did not expect this to go this long. But that's good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So your real grades.
Oh my god. So as I said before, I don't even want to necessarily call this a bad kit.
Yeah.
But my worst one, I'm going to say, is just the Real Grade Exia.
Ooh. Okay.
Not a bad build.
Yeah.
Nothing about it. It's just, it was one of those things where I'm like, I kind of wish where it's like, you look at all the other, the Quanta, everything else that's out for Real Grade. I understand that, yes, they're different kits, but you get, or different units, but you get what I mean. No.
Literally, your problem is that the Exia was the base unit, and then they continued to build on further from that.
Yeah.
And they did.
So that's what I'm saying, is just, but that's why for me, it was kind of like, I built the Exia, and then I really thought about what was out there, even just in Real Grade for it, and I was kind of like, man, I wish I got one of the other ones.
I've heard nothing but good things about 00 and, well, Riser and frickin' Quanta being, like, insanely good. That's the worst part about it.
Yeah, and like I said, I want to make that clear. I did not have a problem with
Yeah.
the build of the RG Axia. It's just like, it feels basic.
Yeah.
But it is the Axia. You do get exactly what you would expect to get in it, so it's not even like they left anything out.
Right.
So just, chalk that one up to user error almost.
Right.
But for my best, though, I'm actually going to start with my runner-up because I almost wanted to put this as my best, but being that on a technicality it is 2 kits, I can't. The Real Grade Strike and the Real Grade Sky Grasper.
Ooh, okay.
I will say, if you are a Strike fan, for the money, even with buying both kits for the money, it is well worth it. I like that they even thought, because the Real Grade Strike comes with just the L Strike pack, and then the Sky Grasper, you get sword and launcher.
Yep.
And I want to point out that it was just a little piece. It's a little chunk of plastic that I remember when I was looking at the runners. I'm like, what in the hell is this?
Right.
Look through you look through the manual. It is a piece because they're like, okay, you can only display 1 pack on the Strike, 1 pack on the Sky Grasper. It's a piece to put on an action base to display whatever the 3rd Strike pack you're not using is.
Kind of the stacking like I'm doing for that big red frame that I've been building for 2 years now.
Yeah, exactly. But they even went to the thought of, like, the way you make it, it'll fit any of those Striker packs. I've even heard people who have, like, the IWSP and stuff like that, and they're like, it'll fit even those.
Yep.
It'll fit basically any Real Grade Striker pack. And I'm like, that's
right.
Awesome. That is so cool to me. Just so I really want to put that as my number 1. I still say it is an amazing runner-up, but because it is 2 kits, I feel like if you get just the Strike, it's still really cool. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But that's having the Sky Grasper sends it.
Yeah.
For my best though, I'm gonna go with I'm 99% sure I got the name right on this one. Everyone forgive me on this, but it is the RG Wing Gundam EW. So the one that So the one that basically has the Desai through a set looking wings.
Yeah, so TV wing. Yo.
Yes. Okay. So I will endlessly get the names of all the different wing kits confused.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So it goes Wing Gundam and then Wing Zero. Well, Wing Gundam EW. So or we call it what it is, TV wing versus manga wing, which is the difference between those two.
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 RG wings now, isn't there?
Yeah, like I said, Wing Gundam Custom, and then Wing Gundam EW.
Yes.
We don't have Proto still, I think, in
No. It's Wing Zero Custom.
Ah. Oh yeah, so okay, Wing Zero is the Proto version then. We do have Proto. God, I need to get them all still.
But it was the 2nd Real Grade I built, and it was just kind of what I was saying with like the heavy arms. It's great color separation. I love a lot of the ingrained design elements of it. It feels like there's absolutely 0 excess parts to it. It's just I love it. I love it. I love the crazy poses it can pull off. Another thing is, like, with the weapon, I was almost worried because of how just kind of big that gun is. I was like, is it going to be able to hold it? He's been holding it upright for almost 2 years now, a little over 2 years now. And that joint's still good. So awesome.
Oh yeah, it sounds like yours hasn't had the issue like my high resolution wing did, and it's not the best amongst ever. Fucking hell.
Yeah. But that is so that is definitely an awesome RG kit.
I can say even though what is it called, the custom is one of the first real grades, I still have had no issues with my custom as well. The RG wing kits are really super awesome for what they are. All right, so moving on to the next, we'll be done at. Let's go with yours. Have you done?
I'm gonna have to pass. I have not done any real grades
Oh,
at
oh,
all. I
Done it.
only have done masters and high grades.
Donut, you leave this room right now. How dare you?
And my specialty is master grades.
You really
I'll-
should
I'll
try.
roll in that
You
all day.
really should try. If you like the complexity of master grades, you should really try real grade. It is like a master grade, but at a 1/44th scale. They get very complicated fast.
I'll have to look
Try
into
it,
them.
see if you
I
like
have
it.
a list, but at this point, I have not personally built any real grades.
They're really good. I have no problems with them.
Yeah, just
Yeah, fair.
start anywhere. Find an RG you like, pick it
Yep.
up, and
Exactly.
Mhm.
experience it for yourself.
Yep. And there's so many. Like there's the Mark IIs. I would not say do the Destiny because it's not the greatest. The Zeta. I know some people have done the ARC 78 too and actually make it work. The Zagok is actually supposed to be still pretty good. Go with King
yeah.
New.
I will stand by this. If you want something really easy to step into
Ooh.
RGs with, go
Yeah.
get the Zagok.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah.
Matt.
Or
Still-
like Storm saying, the tall geese. Find one of the tall
Yeah,
geese that you
nice,
like. The
nice.
tall geese are so
Yes.
good. I love them.
Tallgeese
I'm
was
sure
my
there's
second
plenty
RG.
of hits out there. It's
There are
just
so
I've
many.
just never dipped my toes into that grade yet.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, Donut. You have a goal. Because you are King Wing. Go get the RG Wing Zero Custom.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that you were going to say that.
Because
I've
guess what
looked
I'm
at
going to
that,
tell you
and
to
they're
do
just
to your.
hard
Guess what I'm
buy.
going to tell you to go to what you should do to your Wing Zero Custom you buy.
I knew this was coming.
You also need to go and get the Susan model wing set. You can add 4 of them onto the wing. And then there's also the Snow White Prelude funnel add-ons. Oh. You can make one into a Snow White Prelude.
It'll go next. It'll go good next to the Deban one probably.
Yeah, all you'd have to do is just change all the blue to silver or gold. Because that's all you'd have to
Yeah.
do. You guys knew that pitch was
Yeah.
coming.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was waiting for it.
I just had to
Problem
think for a
is,
second. I'm like,
those are hard to
ding.
come by. As
Yeah.
far as
Yeah.
the people that either have them have built them, or they're keeping them and they're not getting rid of them.
Because they're so good. I have to sit here and say this. The problem is they're really fucking good. And they sold like
So-
goddamn bang. It is going to be hard to find them, though. You will have to pay a little bit, but they're
Yeah.
so totally worth it, though, I have to say. I did 2 sets of the wings. They were fucking amazing. You saw. And the funnels were still really fucking good, too. I had no problem. Hell yeah, Storm. Sotheby's really fucking good, dude.
I'll give it to you, Honored.
Yep.
Oh, we're not moving on.
No, we're on real grade. Let's go. Come on.
All right. So now I'm going to preface this, or I'm just going to start off. There was nothing wrong with this kit in
Uh-oh.
any way.
Uh-oh.
It was a mentality mindset while I was building it that made it the worst RG for me.
Uh-huh.
So basically, I believe this was the 3rd Gunpla kit that I ever bought,
Oh, no.
and I was looking for something that had, big boy weapon, and I wanted to build an RG, but my selection was limited, and so, hey, I could afford it. It looks all right. I'm gonna grab this one. So the 00 Quanta
Ooh.
Wow.
sat in my backlog for about 3 months before, hey, I need to make room for other kits. I'm going to just build this one to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And I forced myself
Oh.
to build it.
Oh.
I I didn't let the, just take it easy, enjoy the build. I pushed myself to get through it until it was done.
Oh no.
And
God.
I so regret that to this day, because the Double O Quanta RG is a beautiful, beautiful RG kit.
Especially if you
It-
pair it with the freaking what is it called? The full saber add-on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is a great kit. I just made it bad for myself because I
Aw.
forced myself to build it.
That sucks.
Oh, that's
So-
sad, dude.
It really is.
Oh. Because it's almost akin to its master grade. Like they're almost like on par with each
Oh.
other.
Yeah. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the kit. It was just my mentality.
Mm.
Well, you could almost take
Um,
that and any grade though. You, depending
Yeah,
on any
oh,
grade
yeah.
you go into, any kit, the mentality
Yeah.
will dictate
yeah.
how it looks and how it turns out.
Right.
Very true.
Exactly.
Very true.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I keep saying there was nothing wrong with the kit. It's a beautiful RG. It just, I was in the wrong place mentally when I built it. Thus, my mind places it as the worst for me.
That sucks.
It really does.
You should really do another one and go get the full saber add-on with the shield and everything. Oh, you'll fucking love it.
You know how hard it is to actually find a RG Quanta in stock now, though?
It's literally in stock on Gundam Place right now for $31.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
They-
maybe my Witch from Mercury kits will have to hold off for a little bit.
It's $31 right now for a Quanta.
And apparently there's a sale starting on.
Yeah, they're doing the
GPS
Black
tomorrow.
Friday soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's
All
your
right.
best kit? If you've only got the one
Well,
really bad one.
I had the runner up for the
Okay.
worst, and that would
Okay.
have been
Okay.
that would have been the Sinanju.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I can
Ah.
agree.
And,
Yep.
and that one had to do with, it was a cross between, I'm pretty sure I had a bad mold with mine
Uh-huh.
because I couldn't get parts to fit right at all, and
It-
the gold
Yeah.
seemed off, very off.
It was during
Like-
the very first early runs of Real Grade, so I wouldn't be surprised if there were production issues.
Like it wasn't just a couple pieces of armor, like
Ah,
literal chunks
damn.
of assembled armor were falling off over the entire legs.
Right? Damn.
So I was getting frustrated with it real quick. Even, it was another one of those where you glue one part on and then the next three fall off.
Ah, that does suck.
Jeez.
That's why the OVA takes it for, it's like, I hate having to go and sit there and say OVA plus Takumi is still the best, but OVA plus Takumi is the very best. Yes, it's expensive, but I mean, when I built it, I was like, this is so good. Why are you so good? You're not having issues. Yeah, I had to clip a couple pieces to make them fit, but I was like, that's not very bad. That was just, they even stated in the freaking little leaflets, like, oh, hey, we had some production issues. You'll have to do this and this to make this fit. And it's like, okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know at least.
Yeah.
Now,
Now on to our
Now-
next topic. No, I'm
Well,
just kidding.
he's his best. His best.
No, I know. I had to for the joke. I had to
Okay.
for the joke.
Yeah. So what's your best?
All right. So I have to, let's see. I'm trying to think about all the RGs that I've built so far.
Okay.
Oh shoot, I can't do variants because that's technically the same kit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You Astray love.
I knew that's where he was going.
Well, I mean, technically, it
it's-
still counts.
Yeah, best. I would have to say best two. It has to be two of them because I can't decide between the two of them.
Yeah.
Is the real grade tall geese,
Hmm.
the base tall geese, not any of the variants.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the asteroid red frame.
Yo.
Oh yeah.
The tall geese was my second real grade that I built,
Yeah.
and then the asteroid red frame was the third real grade I had ever built. So first real grade being the Freedom,
Yeah.
Oh,
but it was the reason I like them most is I guess my love of the asteroid came from that real grade. I'll be flat out honest because immediately preceding finishing building that real grade asteroid, I went out and bought the high rim immediately.
Yeah.
Um, um, but it was the simplicity
yes.
of those builds and how well they fit together. Like,
Right.
you got a leg done. It was easy and satisfying. The detail was there.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people complain about the hands on the real grade Astray, but I thought those are the coolest things on the planet.
Well, you can also just do the molded ones because that's what I'm using for mine. For my gold frame, I
Yeah.
have the molded hands on there. You don't even have to use the freaking
No,
spread fingers.
no, and that was the other thing I liked about it too, is with the Astray in particular, you had the choice. You could do the posable hands or you could do the molded ones. You had the choice.
Exactly.
yeah.
And then I can't tell you how much fun that tall goose was.
I can because I've built 3 of them so far.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're just, I don't know what it is about the tall geese, man. That one is just, it's such a
so
satisfying
nice.
build.
It's just a good
It's
build.
so nice.
It's a good build.
And I might get a lot of flack for saying this, but I think the real grade tall goose is better than the master grade. Like,
Ooh. Probably because the master
a
grade
long
is an
shot.
EW, and so it's a very simplistic. Because I have it in the backlog, and it's an old style big box. So yeah,
the
I can see
front-
that.
Yeah.
the verniers
Yeah.
have more detail and functionality than the master grades do.
Oh, well, of course it's real grade. Of course it will.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's
I don't know.
also something you could chalk slightly a little bit of that up to the MG having a little bit older design, and like Vlad said, it was an EW kit versus the real grade is newer.
Oh, super new. Like it came out at the same time as the
Yeah.
custom, and those were super new. Now I'm surprised. Oh, God damn it! I closed all those stupid pages. I am surprised no one sat there because I know we all bought it just recently. I'm surprised no one said the Zong. I'm not a big fan of the Zong's design, but I've heard good things about how it builds.
I really like the RG Zong. I wouldn't necessarily put it up there with my favorites.
Really?
It's really cool. I don't regret buying it. I actually I've said this a couple times out. I know I bought it on sale. If I knew how much fun I was going to have building that, I would have paid the full price for it.
Yeah.
But man, especially when you're talking real grades, Strike and Wing set a very high bar for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. And like Storm said, hate the Zong's design, but the RG looks great. It does. And that's why a lot of us bought it when
Yeah.
it was half off. Because why? I can't justify $65 for the RG Zeong. If he had his legs and it was perfect Zeong, sure. With it being a giant one, maybe $60, $80 for it. But without having the legs and it just being the regular Zeong, it's just like, it's so hard for me to do it. Like, I'm even thinking when I build mine, I may be doing a color change on it.
Yeah, fair.
I may be doing a full red color change on it where I make it look kind of like Sosby and Sinanju to make it so that I like it
Ooh.
better. But that's also what I want to do with
Yeah.
Messer too, is that I don't like the
Yeah.
color scheme. It's not my favorite. It's just weird that it's like red, 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 blue, and gray. It's like, Char, what happened? Did your brain snap? You had everything red, and then you went with this design.
Well, time out. Okay.
And then we go
Forgive
back
me,
for the
I will
freaking
admit.
the Neo Zeon.
Yeah. Well, no, because wasn't in the story the Zeong wasn't it a two-part where it's like it wasn't necessarily meant for Char, and also it wasn't complete.
I had no clue.
I think that was the thing of why.
Apparently,
especially
it was
wasn't,
even going
like,
into
huge colors.
have you watched December Sky yet for the Thunderbolts?
Not in a while.
Well, apparently the Zong was also going into mass production too.
Really?
Yeah, that was the whole, like, there was a plot point where the new people wanted to steal the design that was being happening by the Principality, and it was because they were getting ready to, like, full scale build Zeongs.
Okay,
Weird. Okay.
you do know that the anime Thunderbolt happens within the standard UC timeline. However,
Yes.
the manga is an AU.
Mm.
Oh,
So-
I did not know that actually.
So in the manga AU, there's a lot of mobile suits that we know from the UC timeline that were prototypes that were actually mass production and given to the Brotherhood.
Mm.
Because Io has piloted under his belt. It's not just the Thunderbolt he had. He's been through several different GMs. He had a mass production Mark II. He had a mass production Delta Plus.
Oh, wow.
And what was? Forget. There was another mass production one, and then the Psycho. I think they called it the Psycho Xeon. Psycho Xeon were supposed to be mass produced by the Principality.
And let's see.
And basically take the Xeon, take the Zong, and then put what looks like a bundle of fuel tanks in where the legs should go.
I'm trying to see if there's any
And
that we need to go over.
I mean, I'm sure we could go over endless amounts
Oh,
of them. If we
there's
really
so
thought.
many. Yeah, there's so many. So then moving on to full mechanics / Re 100s. This is just more our speculation, and or if anybody has any real experience with them. I really don't. The most full mechanics I have.
do.
The full mechanics I really have is I've done a full mechanic Barbie, and it wasn't that great. I really don't like him. He falls apart when I look at him. But I don't do Re 100s really. Not my thing.
You have the full mechanics Barbie that I don't have. The only one I don't have.
Yeah, I have first frame, and it's such a piece of shit. He lost his face, his cannon broke, and he just falls over when I breathe. Near his vicinity. Not my favorite mobile suit. Yeah, and I waited months for it.
The only kit that I've done that falls within that category is the Calamity.
Yeah, okay.
Oh boy, that thing was a hot mess.
See, I keep hearing that. Like, so what was the problem with the Calamity?
You want to talk about burnout?
Yeah.
This is the kit that put me on burnout. It burned me out for what I think it was like 6 to 7 months of just like it's gonna sit there and I'm just not gonna do anything.
Really?
Wow. And this is coming from somebody that will take a kit and will detail it to the 9, even though they don't warrant it. And I was doing it with this kit, even though I hated it.
Yeah.
I had to pick it back up and still do that to finish it out. But I don't know. It was just the whole the inner frame. This one, like most a master grade would have a frame with armor put on it. This one was, in my opinion, more of, I guess, what guys would consider like a real grade, in a sense. And I just didn't know.
See,
the detail was not there.
Yeah.
In my opinion, too. That, in my opinion, something that size should have.
Yep. See, that's how I feel about the Nightingale. Let's pull that up here in a second. I hate when people sit there like, oh, the Nightingale's so crazy for how big it is for the Re 100, and it's like, yeah, but just go with the high grade. The gun is so huge on the Re 100, and I went through the manual because I was like, oh, maybe I'll pick it up. It's really big. It's getting a reprint. It's really big just to be big. And then when you look at, like, I have it pulled up here, the underside of the wing alone, compared to the high grade has so much detail because this whole area gets covered in with an actual detail piece. So much better. The underskirt under the actual back portion has the underpiece. It's not just hollow. It's so much better than the Re 100 is so bad compared to the high grade. The high grade did not have to go so hard, but it did, and I love it for that.
Mm. So I'm just making a guess here, and from the sound of it, it sounds like I've got the most experience with the non-grades,
Yes.
full mechanics, and reborns, or whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've only done like 2 no grades, so
yeah, I've got no grades, non-grades, first grades, full mechanics, reborns. Yeah, I've done more than a few of each of those.
Right.
Um, I'll just say the first grades are fun, but you have to understand that those are
Yeah.
old HGs, and you will have to paint those.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get stickers, you don't get nothing. It's one clear molded or one color of molded plastic for everything, and you have very limited posability on them.
Yep.
jeez.
Actually, I
Yeah.
think Ajax, you do have a little bit. You did the Akatsuki, right?
Yeah,
Akatsuki.
that's what I was saying. I've done 2.
Yeah. Well, but how bad was the Akatsuki? I know it was not a Bandai Akatsuki technically, so
What? Yeah, I was about to say it was the Deban version. It was fine. That one was fine. I think it also helps if you look at the Akatsuki, it ain't got a whole lot of colors going on anyway.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was fine. I added it to the gold collection with the Shiki and gold frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wear gloves if you build it.
I would real quick to put in there. I would have to say, out of all of those, I think my favorite for the reborns at least would be between the Zaku 2 FZ and the GPO. It's either 4 or 5 Gerbera. GPO 4 or 5 Gerbera.
Yeah.
The Gerbera.
Ah.
That
Really?
for a reborn, that one really stood out, and that's why it's so sought after.
Really?
Yeah.
It really stood out on the reborns, especially with that very unique backpack design, thruster backpack. It was yeah, it looks good, and the FZ just it was nice because I had a kit I could partner up with my Alex 2.0.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then we'll move on to mega scale. I don't know how many people have actually done mega scales here. I've only done big boy unicorn, which is great. I've always been asked about it. Mega scale unicorn is it's a big high grade, and literally you can just pull the parts off the runners. And I'd still suggest it. Like, you want a really cool, really big model kit that you can do whatever the fuck you want with? The mega scale is that. Buy it. It looks great. Everyone loves mine.
Yeah. Now here's an actual question though. I've always had is, do you think that is probably the only reason the mega scale ones are probably good is that they are basically just high grades?
Yes. And it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So, like, when we talk about, like, the bus, they're the same way. They're not complicated. They're just big. They're basically just giant high grades that have been blown up. Like, the Sotheby bus is just basically a high grade. There's nothing going on in there that's overly complicated. It's just big. So, when we get to these big, giant scales, they get pretty simple. You don't want to really go too overly complicated when you go super large. Which we can move over to a scale that not a lot of people will have any experience with, especially some of the people here, because they are out of everybody's price range except for a select few, which really sucks ass because really kind of does blow that not a lot of people get a chance to build them. That's the perfect grades. Myself, I've only done a few select ones. Currently working on, which I'm going to try to pull it up right now. If I can remember which fucking goddamn mouse I need. God damn it. There you are.
I've done 3, and 2 of them weren't even mine.
Yep.
Nah.
This is the only place I know that has the easiest freaking goddamn way of seeing it.
Fair.
Yep. Waiting on freaking my other one. There's the new Gundam. Everyone knows. You guys have been watching me build it as I go slowly. I've been having a blast with it. It is very, very over the top because it's based on the metal build. I have my own 2 cents on everything. There are a few things that are kind of like, eh. The back verniers on the legs are not the best connection. I wish it was a little bit better, but be glued in place and make sure to secure it well. Won't be the worst. The knees are really hard to get the transformation to open up sometimes because they like to stick. Not the worst. The backpack verniers being a little bit fucky-wucky because why does one have to have a good solid peg and then we go with a small peg for the other one? Why? Just why? But other than that, I've been having a blast. I can't not recommend the kit. It is a hard kit. It will be hard, but you know what? You stick with it. It's one of my favorites of all time so far. The rifle and the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher was so intricate, wasn't even funny. The rifle was super simplistic so far. I've already got it built. It's done. It was so
Nice.
simple. I liked it. I'm moving on to the shield next. I've got to get that done. It looks pretty simple. And then just doing the insanity of the funnels in the base, getting that all done and getting everything looking nice. Cannot wait to get the beam saber done and get him in some kind of a pose. The LEDs were very easy. I didn't do any custom work to it because I didn't want to with the sheer cost. I know the cost is pretty hard for people to understand, but go look up what the metal build's going for. I mean,
Well, as
you're gonna die when you
well-
see the price on it.
well, I mean, we've talked about this because I'll say this. It's one of those things. If you're like, I got to get around to getting one.
Yeah.
But I've said before, I would, if I was to get a perfect grade, I'd want it to be the new.
Yeah.
Boom, sold, done.
Yeah.
At that point, it's worth it.
Yep.
If you are just like someone who, oh hey, that kind of looks cool. Oh, by the way, it's $500. Okay, I'm good. I understand that. I understand that. At that price tag, it is. If you really like it, get it.
Yep.
If you just go, oh, that's cool, I ain't getting it. I also totally understand.
Yep. Well, that's coming into the 2 perfect grades we're going to be talking about right now. So coming into where perfect grades where I have experience for, the Astray Kai red frame is not where you want to be at. I hate everything about it. I've built it twice so far. I've built the original red and I built the blue. They are a struggle build because it's not proportioned well. I hate it. I hate the swords. They look atrocious compared to every other version of the katanas that Red Frame has. And unfortunately, I've built the Nielsen Works, and yeah, it's a slog to get through for some of the parts because it's fairly overcomplicated because it's a boutique kit, which is not fair to compare it to a Bandai kit because Nielsen does his own thing. But I had fun building it because it's a glorified master grade reissue in perfect grade form, but it does everything I want it to do. And that's the way I would see that. But the PG Kai has a bigger issue to it, is the fact they made the tactical arm unusable, which sucks because if you want a usable tactical arm, you have to go buy the EW third-party one. The reason is there is a U-joint on the backside of the tactical arm, which I think was an oversight because what the problem is you can't put it in sword mode. You can't use it in sword mode. It'll just flop around and it doesn't transform. The handle doesn't transform into the sword mode variant, so you can't really do sword form. You can do bowcaster, you can do the flight form in Delta Kai, you can do the Delta Grasp and the flight pack, but sword is unusable. It's too heavy for the unit to pick up. But if you do the EW variant, you can do that because it has the correct hilt for it.
So okay, just to reiterate, so it's not that, because you've kind of said it 2 different ways, and I just want to make sure even I'm clear on this. So it's not that it literally doesn't have the sword form. It's just
just
that the sword
unusable.
form does
Yeah.
not work.
It doesn't work.
Okay,
It's
cool.
kind of the same issue the metal build variant has. The metal build variant has it where it's locked into place, and it has those weird guards that make it so you can only do bowcast form. You can't do sword form at all with that one as well, which does suck. I'm trying to see
Okay.
if damn it still has the Gundam accessories. He used to have the actual the add-on swords. He used to. That's where I got mine. Nah, he's already sold out of them. Damn. But yeah, if you buy the third-party PG ones, they're so good. They're really nice. That's what I have on my blue frame, and it's the correct variant. It's the master grade variant, and it works really well. You can do all the forms that you want with it, and it's just so much better. But the one I would say that's not the worst. It is really expensive for what it is. That's why, and the chest not being appropriate, there is a obvious gap if you look at it, where the chest looks like it has its verniers opening up. Every variant has a middle vent piece that goes in between there. It drove me crazy for 3 months straight trying to figure out why or if I missed a part. But no, it doesn't. It looks like it should have a part that goes into the verniers on the chest. It doesn't. And it's a very annoying kit because there's just problems. I wish it was scaled better. To get the arms to work right, you have to cut pieces to get the arms to actually be able to go as high as they need to be able to hold weapons or even do any good posing. It's just that. I just wish it was better, and I wish the swords were a little bit like they work for if you're putting them on a high resolution kit to do the gorilla arms. They look fine with that. They look fine with that. It's fine. It's an over exaggerated piece. You're just going for the over exaggeration. But on the perfect grade, it just looks bad. It looks cheap. And for how much this thing costs, it's just not that great.
That's sad.
It is sad. It really is sad, especially when you're going into I'm going into the Exias soon. And the problem is, they look great. They look awesome. I don't know yet if they're going to be great in form making them, but they look great. There's nothing that looks out of place. I've seen them. There's nothing that looks too out of place on the Exias. But the one I wish we would get a reform for, because it is so old and they keep charging full price for it, is Wing. Wing needs a new perfect grade. I'm tired of seeing it come out and everyone having an issue with it. And, it would sell. It still sells. The perfect grade sells out every time it gets a reissue.
Actually, someone can easily correct me because I'm probably wrong here. I just realized that with all the PG reprints we have been seeing, I have not seen Wing.
Well, it's come. It's just very there's 5 or 6 that come every other time because I always miss out on it. I always miss out on it. It's but it needs a new one. It needs a 2.0. I mean, they did a 2.0. They did the PG Unleashed RX-78 too. So why aren't we getting a PGU freaking Gundam Wing? Do you know how much that would sell? Fucking insane.
Technically, the perfect grade strike that's on the market right now is a 2.0.
Okay, so yeah. Why have we not
knows?
gotten a Wing? Well, who knows? I know we're not probably gonna get it.
It could be in the works. Well, or like you said, it could be their next PGU kit, so it's taking longer to make.
I don't know. I can't say that because we've seen how they keep doing what we want. So it does suck. I'm going into the unicorn soon. I won't give any too much on those. I've kind of seen how they work and just how they look. They look a lot better. They do things that are a lot different than say the real grades. So I'm actually looking forward to doing that soon here. I'm trying to think of anything else we've missed so far. I do have the perfect grade Zaku I'm going into. That's a whole different mess because that is a very different perfect grade.
I can talk about their perfect grade Zaku too myself.
All right, so what do you know about it so far? I know what I'm walking into for the most part because I have to disassemble half the damn thing, but...
I already hate that laugh. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a menacing
It.
So, if you, let's see, are you going to be working with the instructions, or are you just gonna do this all?
I have to
Um,
remember mine's half assembled. I have to
okay,
disassemble, reassemble, and then redo everything all over again. That's
so
why
you
it's
will be
taking me
using the
so.
instructions.
Yep.
Be patient with them. Be very patient with them because the instructions are like 4 pages and that's it.
Boy, I read Chinese by now because of what I've been working on for the longest damn time. I know. I know how bad it can be. I've been looking over that thing for
So
years now.
if it's, I don't know how it's physically possible, but if you can overcomplicate a mega size, they did it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
They did it.
Oh, you have no idea, Ajax. It is very there.
No, I've heard. I've
The
heard.
new is less complicated than the perfect grade Zaku is.
Oh no. I've heard horror stories about
Yeah.
PG Saku.
Yeah, no, PG. There's a
So-
reason why it's been in the backlog for so long.
Yeah.
I say the two things I hated the most about the PG Zaku is the Heat Hawk
Yeah.
was fucking purple. The whole mold was purple.
That means I'm gonna have to paint that thing. Damn it.
Weird.
It looked like a toy that went with a He-Man action figure.
That's hilarious.
It did not look like a Zaku weapon.
That's hilarious.
Let's see. And then the other thing I hated was the LED light setup they had for it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm throwing that whole thing away. I looked at it, I'm like, oh no, no, we're throwing that away, and we're gonna do a whole custom unit for this.
The head was really neat though. I like how that went together, how the eye moved.
By the power of Char, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then, yeah, it's simple but not simple at the same time.
Oh, I wouldn't even
And
call it simple. I would call it is a.
you have a
Whew.
different you have a different kind of challenge ahead of you with what you've got.
Yeah.
I built it up from the parts to the finished product. And
Which
then
I
I was
honestly-
a glutton for my punishment and I went to go start a second one.
Ooh.
And then I kind of gave up and sold that one to a buddy.
Ah. No, there's a reason why I was given it is because I had the patience to go back through and redo all the work that needs to be done, because somebody else couldn't do it, and they're really sad about it because that was so annoying. What else? What other perfect grades you got some insight on?
Perfect grade Kai,
Yep.
and the perfect, I shouldn't say perfect grade, but the Nilsson Works Asteroid Red and Blue.
Do you have the same feeling I do on it?
That the Nilsson Works are a boutique kit.
Yes. Well, boutique and that
Yeah.
the Bandai version just is not the best.
It's really not. It's like you described with those tactical arms. You just,
You feel
I
bad.
wanted it.
Yeah.
I wanted it for Buster Sword form.
Mhm.
That's the main reason I wanted those tactical arms, but the thing wouldn't stay together.
Yep. Yep. You have to have a
And
stand,
then-
and it still looks awkward and wonky when you do it.
Yep, knee armor kept falling off.
Yep. Yeah, no, that is the
Swords were-
problem. Everything falls off those things like crazy. What do you think? I haven't done the decals on the blue. Every time I look at it, it's like I glued half of you together, but if I touch you, you're gonna fall apart.
The swords were proportioned bad.
Yeah. And that's sad because technically they did the 007 sword a couple years before that, and it's actually better. Like the giant
Mhm.
Buster sword for the 007 sword is like actually usable. It's kind of why I want one, but don't have enough money for it right now. Oh man.
So
Yeah, and
well,
I actually, those two Nilsson Works that I built, those were actually for someone who they wanted the Nilsson Works, but they didn't want to build it themselves, so I ended up building it for them.
Yeah. And that's sad
And-
that the Nielsen's are so good. It's so sad.
Yeah, they're. Yeah. I'd say
So-
the one nice thing I did like about the blue is it didn't. from what I understand, it didn't have the same issues that the Debon Blue did with the weapons being a bit too heavy or oversized, and so you couldn't use them correctly for it.
The only one I think is oversized is the Gold Frames rocket launcher. It's a bit big, but the other two rocket launchers were fine for my Deban one. It wasn't too bad. I
So,
really didn't have an issue with it.
So really quick, not to not to hijack this conversation really quick, but
Nah.
Someone just shot me a message about something.
Uh-huh.
Bandai just announced a new Gundam project, a Mobile Suit Gundam Silver Phantom, a narrative interactive VR movie.
Ew, I already hate it. Thank you very much.
With the recent failure of their beta launch of Metaverse, I'm not
Yeah.
having high expectations.
That is all I'm saying. Is a buddy of mine just shot me a message. It's literally like a title card,
Oh,
and
man.
then that little bit of info.
Yeah, I still need to get it.
So-
I still need to get a Nielsen Blue, so that way I have a second form, because technically mine is first form, because I have my Deban in the second L, because technically I also do have a tactical arms on mine, because I was stupid to go that big. But when you look at the Nielsen Red, it looks, and I know for a fact when I built mine, it looks close to the image that you see on the website. It has the colorations, you have the part separation. The swords look exactly as they should if you build them correctly. The hilts look amazing. They don't look cartoonish, and that jetpack hurts because it's sharp, because it's very pointy. But he looks so good when you actually get to him. I loved everything about the Nielsen works. There's a reason why I built one and then have mine.
Oh, Storm just posed a very good question. If you could only have one line, what would it be?
Oh, that's easy. Master grade. It's the perfect size.
I would say real grade.
Ooh, concise on that. I can see that because of the detail quality and the complexity.
Yeah.
I still go for size, and that's my only problem.
I'm going master grade.
Yeah, I knew where you were going.
Just for that same reason. The size of it, I like the look of them.
Yeah.
Over the real grade or the high grades.
What about you?
Fair.
What about you, Honored?
It's a tough call, but I think due to the fact that knowing once I start getting older, the smaller parts are going to be difficult for me. I'm gonna have to not go with high grades or real grades. I'm gonna have to stick with the good old reliable master grade.
Nah.
I understood I'd probably be the outlier there. I knew it. But...
Yeah. And Storm, I can see that with the high grades. But that's also where you can also start looking into the third-party lines too, because they are going insane with the amount of variety you can get now. Bandai does limit what's available, and that's the issue. Like if you go to Mofi or the Bandai store right now, there are hundreds of kits you can get, and that's insane. They're all master grade size, and that's what's really nice. But I know high grade is the safe bet for some people because the price to quantity can be very good. I know that's where a lot of people also stand too.
Right. Yeah, with high grades, it's price point, it's selection.
Yep.
And if you're one of those that adores kit bashing, the opportunities for you to get a cheap kit to pull parts from is there.
Yes, exactly.
That as well. See, I would argue that there are certain ones like, who I was about to start counting the amount of GMs I have. What am I even doing?
Yeah.
If I mentally I was like 1, 2, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But that's another thing though, where it's like I would not have the amount I do have if I had to get them all in master grade. So yeah,
Right.
you're right. But it's like sometimes where it's like if it's a little bit different, like the Cold District GM from standard GM, it's a different color and a different weapon. I am fishing out $40, $50, $60
Yeah.
for that. 10, 20, 10, 12, 15 bucks. Oh yeah, I'll buy it.
Yep. So we are actually running out of time. We didn't even get to the second topic of tonight because that took forever for us to get through. But
Shelf
that's
it for
good.
next week.
Yep, we're gonna have to shelve that for next week. The other thing is that we are going still hard on the giveaway, which is the giveaway for the PG Unleashed from Deban. We haven't got the actual giveaway one here yet, but the Rebox copy is already on its way. If either one gets here before the other, we'll just do that. It will suck if I can't do my promotional pictures for the box copy because it takes forever to get here, but we'll see how that works out. I'm still surprised Deban did it. Deban told Bandai, whatever you can do, we can do it better and cheaper. And I love it.
Yeah.
I said for the longest time, I do not like Grandpa. I hate him. I am not paying $314 for a gimmick perfect grade that doesn't really do anything and doesn't have anything extra. You get sword and board and a rifle. There is nothing else in that kit. Ooh, you get a light up beam saber. I mean, that's okay. I'm not really one for these super over the top gimmick kits like the MGXE or the MGX Unicorn. I am not one for those. They are not my cup of tea. I really don't like super over the top gimmick stuff because it just sometimes falls flat on its face, aka the Unicorn with its terrible, terrible freaking lighting harness that likes to break instantly. Because why? Let's use flexible ribbon cables and make everyone cry and have to go and buy an aftermarket kit. Because
Hold on. We're going down that road we said we weren't going down.
what road is that?
Yeah.
You started that road.
What road?
The hate on the unicorn.
Oh no,
Yeah,
we're off topic now. We're on to our final notes. So go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. If you got something to say about that one, go ahead, because that one deserves the hate it deserves.
Well, all I was gonna say is that hate I'm not looking forward to because I half built that one right now and I've shelved that again
Yeah.
for that exact reason.
I mean,
The fear of that
you
lighting
started.
harness.
You saw what I was talking about, right? With those flexible PCBs. It's
Oh yeah, it's
ooh.
They rely on you to bend either front or back depending on how they want it to be arranged in the kit and are expecting you to not fuck that up and bend it either too far or not far enough.
And me and you work in both in the same field, and we know how bad that can be. How bad it's very hard to not tear a ribbon cable, and it's the worst. I mean, I have problems with my LED strips around my house just because flexible PCB is not the most reliable connection. You want a solid wire plug-in either via Molex or some kind of clamping force on some kind of eyelet. Something that is physical, because wires like to fuck up. If they get hot, if they get cold, they shrink, they contract, and it causes so many issues. It's kind of why when I opened up the Cosmos lighting kit for the Unicorn, I went, ooh, it has flexi lines and it has freaking Molex connectors. This is gonna be so much fun. It's not ribbon cables. I'm like, yes, thank God.
But I
Yep.
don't know. Outside of that is my final thought.
Yep.
I personally am a fan of the SD line.
Right.
Not many people like that. The only ones I've done though are the the G Gundam,
Yep.
and then the MG SD Freedom.
See, that one doesn't.
And I love those.
That one is more of akin to master grade, I would say, the MGSD, and that's because it was made that way.
True, but I don't know. There's only certain ones that I like. I don't like the whole lot,
Oh,
whole universe of of the SDs.
Yeah.
But I am looking out for that Barbatos.
Yeah. I wish they would have.
The last hot take is the MGSD Barbatos.
See, when it comes to SDs, they were doing something good before they did the MGSD. There was the cross silhouette, where it was a cool way of doing that. If you like the super deformed, you would do the super deforms, but you could also buy the cross silhouette inner frame that would make it so they'd be kind of like MGSD, but at a cheaper rate that wasn't extremely expensive like the new one is. It was what you didn't need more parts. You would just use the existing parts. You would just be changing out the inner frame. And it was a really cool idea, but the problem is they never stuck to it, and that's what I fear with the MGSD line. They might not stick to it like they did last time. They did, what was it, on 4 kits in the MG cross silhouette frame, and then they abandoned it.
Yes.
There was Nightingale, Sinanju, Barbatos, and I can't remember the other one.
There was a Banshee.
Yes, Banshee and Unicorn.
Oh, let's see. Oh my gosh. No. There's There's a normal Zaku, normal Zaku 2. There's
I mean, that's still not a whole line.
Hold on. I gotta think of all theirs.
Yeah.
There's the Gramps. There's the Gramps. There's Char Zaku, a regular green Zaku 2, the Freedom, the Crossbones, the Nightingale. The Phoenix Gundam got one. Not the Phoenix, the Phoenix. The one it's the one that you got as a gift if you got the SD Heroes game and you got the DLC for it. What else is
but then they didn't continue it. I didn't like
8 more.
Yeah, but they didn't continue it. It got discontinued so fast that it didn't even get really like you can't even find the black silhouette frame sometimes. You can find the white, but you can't really find the black cross silhouette frame half the time. And I got so mad about it. I was like, well, that was suck. I was actually kind of liking that. I just wish they would have continued it. It was a good idea, I thought. It was kind of catering to those who liked SD and those who didn't like SD. I do like the new ones, but I need to see more. 2 is not a line. I need more.
Jeez. The cross silhouette stuff I actually find, there's more of these than I realized.
There are, but that's because you didn't see them. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, a lot of these, like looking at release dates, a lot of these were like just on the cusp of me getting into Gundam. So.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Well,
it was so short.
Yeah.
Well, it was short too, and you get into ones like was it the Delta Plus or the Delta Chi that got one too, and then the Sisquay, is that how you pronounce it?
Right.
Something
Sisquay?
like that, yeah.
It's the one with the giant mega cannon. That one actually, I don't believe that one was actually announced in the US. So I only heard about that one because I was actually looking at SDCS on a Japanese page.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was, I want to say in total there was around only 30 SDCS kits.
Which is still sad because then they pushed the SD Heroes line like crazy. I don't know why they pushed it so hard in the US. That would be something like I would expect them to push only in China, because it more is for the Chinese market, I would think.
Well, I don't know, because it has
Hero-
that Dynasty. It has that Dynasty Warriors pseudo.
Yeah, it does have
tie-in,
that
and
Dynasty Warriors.
Is very
it's the War of the
popular.
Three Kingdoms, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's in my opinion, if they really wanted to push the SD Heroes, they need to bring the SDCS back and integrate it into the SD Heroes.
I don't know. I like SD. I just wish it was a little bit better than what it was. The idea of it being a good way of doing something, or like those aren't close. What was the one you were just asking me about the other day, Honored? They're not quite SD, but it's the those pre-made basically metal build ones.
Oh, the Next Edge.
Yeah, Next Edge ones. Those are so cool.
Oh.
They're kind of like MGSD, but they're really cool and hyper detailed. I really did like those ones. I don't know why they didn't do more.
Oh, that's right. There's a ground type, a ground Gundam SDCS. I have that one.
Oh.
I just wish they would do a bit more. I know.
That's right. I've got the Earthy too.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
I want to see MGSD continue, but
Yeah.
they need more. They need more
I
out,
guess-
and they need more soon because they're taking
Well,
too
if-
long on Barbie. They need to get it out there. They need to get more out as soon as possible because they're gonna get killed soon.
Well, if the SDCS line isn't dead, then they need to push it in the U.S. more.
Yeah,
Because if the Banshee wasn't released this year, if the Banshee was only released this year, and it's not dead, then why isn't it getting pushed over here?
I have heard nothing about it, and I only hear more about the current, what is it? Their current motto of high grade, high grade, high grade, high grade.
What do you
And
say?
Master
Sorry.
Grade, Master
Yeah,
Grade
Master
being
Grade.
P Bandai.
Yeah, Master Grade now
Yeah.
moving towards P Bandai only. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there was actually 2 released this year. Banshee in July and Tornado in April. Which
That's
is even
2.
weirder.
That's 2.
Well, no,
That's-
but that's what I was gonna say. Is
Yeah.
no, that's my point though. Is I was like, yeah, this is, I'm shocked.
Yeah, I'm shocked too, but that's just 2. I mean, come on. During July, how many freaking kits did we have that came out that were like, oh my god, instantly? There was a lot. I mean, shit, we had like, what did we had? We had
Yeah.
freaking new, freaking Blue Flame, 8.8, the freaking Wing Zero. There's so much that were coming out in July. We had all the Zoids kits that were getting released at the same time. I'm not going to be looking at SDs anytime soon. They're not being pushed like way harder than that. And then, oh yeah, we also had the MGSD coming out around the same time earlier. Coming with the
Well, it's
frames.
better.
That's cool, but
Yeah, that's,
like I said, that's still news to me, but I'm not really interested in that now. I was interested when the line first came out. Now I'm not interested.
Well,
but that's.
oh, did they
that's good
originally
though,
not
be-
come with the inner frames?
No, they did not.
No, they didn't. You had to
You
buy
had to
them
buy 'em
separately. There was
separately.
only
Uh.
there was only a select few that actually came with the frames.
Yep.
Like when the
Gotcha.
when the Nightingale was first released, it didn't have a frame.
No,
with
and it
but
makes
then
it
the late,
so small.
and then the
Gotcha.
later variants, they actually sold it as a set.
Okay. Because the only cross silhouette I've done, because I bought it to do with my wife, is the standard green one, but the Hello Kitty Zaku 2.
Yeah, but okay, so here's another
Nuts,
problem
yeah.
with that too, though. Looking at the Banshee, now those are going to be going, they're doubling the price on those. So now that's not attractive either. It's $25 for the Banshee cross silhouette. That's not attractive.
That's,
I'm not paying $25 fucking dollars for an SD. That's way too much.
The
I paid
20,
that. Go ahead.
25 is what I'd pay for a set that came with the frame. 15 is what I paid for one without the frame.
I could just
Yeah,
But two,
I was gonna say
two-
I have to walk back. I paid 25 for the red frame. Was it SDEX?
Yeah, but that's a
Mhm.
different one. That one's not always in
Yeah.
print and also actually quite good from what I've seen.
I blew mine up, so I can't say anything.
Nah.
Mm.
But nah, $25, I'm not going to go blow that on an SD. I'm not going to be looking at an SD at $25 and go and buy that. If that was like
well,
20, a little bit better. But just throw it costs nothing to throw the cross silhouette frame in there for them. Don't even play that game at me that it costs an extra $10 to throw the cross silhouette frame in there. It is not costing them $10 fucking dollars. At $15, I'd be more attracted to buying the cross silhouette Banshee right now. It is not a $10 add-on at all. After building the kits I've
So-
built over the last 3 years.
to give the SDCS line credit, though, the cross silhouette frame makes a world of difference.
It does, but
What
it's
those
not a
things-
$10 add-on. It is not worth an extra $10 for what is
I-
a $15 kit.
I
at
can't say
most.
much because when I started buying the frames for them, they were $7 a piece for me.
That's
so-
still not good. Remember, we're used to getting our cake and eating it too because we're spoiled, but you know what? I now expect Bandai to do better. I'm not playing this game anymore. We are not playing this game. When I get a model kit and I get every fucking piece of equipment for a fucking unit and I don't have to go and spend an extra $30 fucking to go and have it the way I want it to look, I expect that now. I'm sorry. Fuck that. Fuck that. Include everything you show in the box. Do not sit there and do that. And do not overcharge me for it. I'm tired of that.
Okay.
Fuck that.
So, sorry. So I have a question, just because I genuinely I'm trying to play catch up, because this is like
Yeah.
okay. So no, because I first time really looking at the cross silhouette stuff, so I'm just trying to understand. So were these almost like, with everything put together, like, was this like kind of like, what do they call them, the G frame kits, where it's like,
Yeah.
No.
it's no.
No, G-frames, they're
No.
movable frame. You have the solid frame, and then you have the movable frame, and you have to transfer the parts over.
No, but no, sorry. Where I was going was that it was like a standard inner frame, and then you would buy the different armors to go over it, basically. But all those inner frames were the same.
Not really. With the
Okay.
SDCS, when you bought just the kit, you got a basic inner frame, which was still movable, but
Yeah.
it was very basic.
Yep.
And it makes the kit, and I probably get a lot of flack for saying this, it makes it looks kind of stupid, like a SDEX standard kit.
The
Okay.
problem is, though, that's
So-
shoddy. That's bad. That is bad behavior from them, because they know that's the
And then-
problem, and then they
Okay, but-
upcharge
and
you.
then-
Okay, sorry. So, Honor, you were saying,
Yeah,
sorry.
keep going.
And then you go and buy the cross silhouette frame for it, and you get almost an inch extension on some of the suits. So like you can actually get a craptastic ton more movement. Like, I think it was when I got the crossbones, I decided, you know what, I'm actually going to go see if I can invest in a frame,
Yeah.
the CS frame, to see how much of a difference it made. So what I did is I built the crossbones without the CS frame first, and I'm like, oh, this looks like my SDCS Freedom over there, where it's stubby and kind of sad.
Yeah.
Let me put the frame in it now. And then suddenly it actually looked like a super deformed action figure
Okay.
with, had a little more height to it. The hands were a little more hand-like. It could hold its weapons better. And then, so I will still stand by it. I love the SDCS.
I like the
wish they-
line. I just wish it was cheaper. I wish it was better.
Yeah.
And that's what the problem is. That, think about this. The band could just easily go, well, Gal could go and pick them up and make them for like freaking $6. It's the same problem I have with the freaking the FFEG being only on P Bandai, the Red Dragon only being on P Bandai for the high grades, because they're not worth the cost they're fucking making them for, and we're seeing it. We are seeing that Gal can go and sit there and make them for pennies on the fucking dollar. I save so much fucking cash buying my Red Dragon and my fucking FF. I'm not even fucking kidding anymore. I'm tired of getting taken advantage of by a billion-dollar company sitting there and making us having to sit there and not get what we want. And you know what? I'm going to damn sure make sure they know about it, because, come on, do better. I'm tired of being taken advantage of as a consumer.
Yeah.
Stupid. Because looking at the stupidest prices on these things in here, it's beyond stupid. When I've bought things for far less, and I've had way more fun. I mean, the fucking Hello Kitty kits they're cool, but man, it's $20 and I'd buy them. And they usually get marked up even higher. I've seen them get
they
marked
really?
up. They do. They get marked up sometimes. Like the local
Wow,
store I'm at will
prefer-
mark them all the way to 40.
Whoa, I paid, what did I pay? I think I didn't even pay 20 for mine.
Nice.
So
That's
I'm
good.
just shocked. No, because like I said, I'm like this is like, I thought cross silhouette. I guess I didn't realize that was a whole. When I bought it, I didn't realize it was
Yeah.
a whole line. I
Yeah.
just thought it was oh, because it's something with crossover. I didn't think anything of it.
And it's not about wishing. It's about that we can do it. We don't have to wish about things being cheaper. It's called we have to do it. We don't have to sit there and do it. We don't have to sit here and be mindless consumers and just buy and consume and buy and consume. We buy what we want.
You
We
okay,
buy
dude?
it for the price there. And yeah, we're out of time
Sorry.
actually too.
sorry, I just heard honored there. I couldn't
When
tell if that was
when
a
I can
yawn
go
or-
and buy a blue flame from ZA for not a stupid amount of money, and it comes with everything on the box and it looks amazing, and I don't have to worry about it, and it being insanely infinitely better than what I can buy from some of the stuff that Bandai makes. They didn't have to include the stand. They don't have to include the fucking goddamn particle effects. They don't have to include every single weapon on the box. They could sell all that separately. I don't want to be taken advantage of, and they could. They could so take advantage of us, but you know what they don't do? They don't take advantage of us because we buy it. And that's the thing. Bandai used to do that. They used to include everything that was on the box. Now it doesn't feel like that anymore. I don't feel that way.
Yeah. Or
They used to include decals in every box with most of them. Sometimes they're not even doing that anymore.
yeah, well, consistency would be nice. too.
Yes.
Even then, I will say it's like if you never got decals, all right,
Yeah.
fine, we've come to expect that then.
Yeah.
If you always get decals, cool, we come to accept that then, or we've come to expect that then.
Yeah.
Consistency is
Fans.
always better. Yeah,
And I have had more consistency with the stuff I've been buying lately, and I don't care anymore. It's more I'm more focused on the guys who are asking us where we get our shit from. This has been all of our own opinions tonight. Don't take anything we say with a grain of salt because we're a bunch of idiots who just build model kits
No,
and
wait,
sell them to
wait.
you.
wait, do take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You said don't take anything with like whoa, no.
Yeah, do take anything because you know what? We're a bunch of idiots who build shit. And you know what? If you don't like my opinions, that's your own fault. You listen for 2 hours. If you don't like my opinions, that's your own fault.
Oh boy.
My opinions are very strong, and you know what? I don't give a shit anymore. I'm the villain that everyone wants to make me out to be, so whatever. I don't care. But yeah.
whatever.
You ask me what you want to buy, I'm not going to take your money for a ride. I'm going to take you for a ride. It's not my fault if you spent all your money on the road to that destination. But as always, I'll see you all later. This has been Vladracus, everybody. Get ready to shill for yourselves. Also, please do either join, subscribe, or please make sure to get into that giveaway because we're giving away that Perfect Grade Unleashed at the end of December. Hopefully it's here by then. If not, the box copy. If you're outside the U.S., we will do a $100 gift card for the value of the kit. But thank you very much. Take it away, everybody.
This has been Ajax T Titan with probably the
The
longest
longest.
I've been able to. I was gonna say, with this has been probably the longest I've been able to shut my mouth for. So, yeah.
This is Done, your regular average Gunpla builder.
And this is Honored Ashtray signing out.
Oh,
Man.
yo, we're out. Everyone stick around for a little bit.